Good morning, Alex. It's May 11th at 1:20 p.m. We're relaxing at your house right now, and there's been a little bit of media flack lately in the media after the May 7th fight against Pacquiao Mosley and Manny Pacquiao, that it seems like a lot of people aren't happy with either fighter. Can you give us your take on why Manny Pacquiao maybe didn't attack Pacquiao Mosley a little bit more?
You know, to sit there on Monday morning quarterback anything, you know, you can come up with a million reasons why two fighters didn't look the way that everybody wanted or anticipated them to look like. But the reality is, you know, it takes two people to fight. And if one fighter's coming forward and the other fighters are going backwards, it's not going to be the most exciting thing in the world. Nobody's going to be happy when Manny Pacquiao doesn't knock somebody out. It's just, or, you know, it doesn't look exciting in exchanges and stuff like that. But you have to have, again, you have to have two people that are willing to engage and make an exciting fight. You know, Manny did the best that he could. And the reality is he got bored and he just wasn't entertained. It just, you know, Mosley didn't do anything to excite him or he didn't open up. And Manny's one of those fighters that you have to engage him. You have to create, you know, when you punch, he creates openings, and that's when, you know, big exciting things happen. And Mosley didn't you know, play.
Due to the fact that there's a good possibility that anybody who fights Manny right now, after feeling his power after the second or third round, might start running like Mosley did or Cotto did. I mean, due to the fact that Manny's style isn't to go after somebody and knock him out, like you said, he likes people to engage. I mean, do you think that maybe Manny needs to learn a new style or implement some type of strategy for that, so Manny can cut off the ring better and how do you say it? So he can cut off the ring better and maybe learn to attack his opponent while they're retracting or running from him. Like a Duran did or Julio Cesar Chavez did.
Again, you know, when you have one fighter that's coming forward and the other one that's in complete defense and survival mode, retreating, it doesn't matter if you cut him off or you corner him. He's going to grab. It's a no-win situation. You know, you're going to get one or two punches off every time you cut him off, and he's going to retreat and go into survival mode again. The reality is, Mosley thought about pulling the trigger. And after the third round, and he got knocked down, and he got hit, he just realized that, you know, he would have gotten knocked out. So he didn't try to win. And when you don't try to win, you don't take risks. And when you don't take risks, those are the fights that you're going to have happen.
So, some of the articles that came out within the last 24 hours seem to actually have a personal attack on some of the members of Team Pacquiao. I was surprised to see one of the attacks on you today. That maybe you're not the right strength and conditioning coach for Manny Pacquiao because you've become his friend, and based on the videos they watched on MP Boxing, the horseplay, that maybe you didn't do such a great job of training Manny because you guys play around so much. What are your thoughts when you hear something like that?
I don't think about it really, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know who wrote it. Clearly, if it was somebody that was, you know, one of those more recognized writers like Dan Raphael or you know, one of the bigger sports writers' name, but this is probably just another writer who's not really on anybody's radar, so it doesn't affect me in any one way or the other. But it just goes to show you how far away and how out of the loop they are with, you know, our team and how we are. I've been with Manny almost 4 years. For us not to be friends is ridiculous. So, you know, that's how you get to earn your trust. That's how you build a rapport of your fighter. That's how he learns to trust you. And if you don't have that, you really don't have anything. I mean, when it boils down to, you can have the best program in the world, best supplements and all that, but if your fighter doesn't believe in you and doesn't trust you, and he doesn't have that kind of a rapport with you, then it's all garbage. So it's an invaluable part of building a relationship with a fighter, because that's all the foundation. That's the foundation of it. Because when all the hard work is said and done, at the end, you know, you have to be able to relate and, you know, have, you know, personal and human conversations.
Do you use the same training techniques with Julio Cesar Chavez as you do with Manny, as far as like verbal communication, horseplay, playing around, or do you have different techniques for both fighters because each fighter reacts differently to the way they're treated?
Listen, anytime that you're with somebody, almost 24 hours out of the day, and when they're sick, they come to you. When they're not feeling well, they come to you. When they're injured, they come to you. You take care of them with their food and their diet and their training. You're going to build a bond. It's going to go from being a trainer and coach to being a friend to almost being like brothers, because they come to you for everything to fix it. So for you to just sit there and draw a line and become completely unattached to that person, it's impossible. It's probably not the best thing, you know, but the fact of the matter is it's impossible, because you end up caring about that person. You want to see that they're healthy. When they're not feeling well, it's concerning. When they're injured, it's concerning to you, to me. So yeah, I care about them as much as sometimes I want to kill them and choke them. At the end of the day, you know, when they're stepping into that ring, you know, my heart is beating, because it's almost a family member, a brother that's going in there and you know, going to war.
Here's what I'm going to try and get out of you though, is if you use the same technique verbally and with your attitude that you use with Julio, and you use that on Manny, and gave him instruction after instruction and drilled into him and maybe even yelled at him sometimes and challenged him, do you think you would get as good of results as if you horseplayed with him and had fun with him?
No, you got to remember, every athlete's different. Any good conditioning coach is going to sit there and evaluate each athlete different. His approach to each athlete is going to be different. Manny is 32 years old. He's not a 24-year-old kid. He knows what he's doing. He also knows when he wants it. He's a grown man. He's a congressman. He's not being used to being told or scolded or berated, you know, or any of those things. So he has to be, the approach to Manny has to be completely different than a guy like Julio or a guy like Vanes or any of those younger guys who need that kind of hardcore coaching and that kind of tactics. But Manny's a completely different person, and so you know, each fighter has to be, their approach to him has to be different, and that's what makes each camp successful.